The Brexit Party I founded in 2019. Once we left the European Union, we rebranded it as Reform. But I'll be honest with you, we weren't ready for this general election. You'll see in the YouGov poll, we've overtaken the Conservatives, we're lying second. I finally decided I'd come out of retirement and have another go. So it's remarkable.
Nigel Farage, the man who's been called everything from a rabble-rouser to a political mastermind, just did the unthinkable. He left a BBC host utterly speechless on live television. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. But what exactly did he say? And why are people calling this the interview that could reshape British politics? The answers might surprise you. Nigel Farage has carved out a unique niche in British politics, earning himself the moniker of both rabble-rouser and political mastermind. But what sets him apart from the usual Westminster crowd? It's his knack for stirring the pot and his unapologetic approach to controversial topics that have made him a standout figure.
I mean, we very much hoped it would come in the autumn. It's been rushed upon us. I hummed and hawed as to what to do. Back in 2015, when I led UKIP into a general election, we got 4 million votes and 1 seat, albeit with Labour at the moment some way ahead. So we've had a phenomenal start.
Farage's background isn't that of your typical politician. He's made a name for himself by challenging the status quo and taking on the establishment head-on. His reputation for being a thorn in the side of mainstream politics has grown over the years, much to the chagrin of his opponents. But while the political elite may scoff at his methods, Farage's popularity among voters continues to surge. What's fascinating is the stark contrast between Farage's rising star and the mainstream media's attempts to discredit him. As his support base grows, so too does the intensity of the attacks against him. Yet, Farage seems to thrive under pressure, using these challenges as opportunities to showcase his political acumen. Farage's approach to politics is anything but conventional. He's known for his direct communication style, cutting through the usual political jargon to speak in a way that resonates with everyday people. While other politicians might shy away from touchy subjects, Farage dives right in, tackling controversial topics head-on. This willingness to address issues that others avoid has earned him both admirers and critics. The Brexit campaign, spearheaded by Farage, was a game-changer in British politics. His assertion that leaving the EU would allow the UK to regain control over immigration struck a chord with many voters who felt ignored by the political establishment. This campaign not only reshaped Britain's relationship with Europe, but also exposed deep-seated dissatisfaction with the status quo. As we approach Farage's confrontation with the BBC, the stakes couldn't be higher. The mainstream media has long been a thorn in Farage's side, but he's proven time and again that he can hold his own in even the toughest interviews. His ability to maintain composure under pressure and turn the tables on his interviewers has become legendary. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Farage's political journey is how his outsider status has become his greatest strength. In a political landscape where many feel disconnected from their representatives, Farage's straightforward approach and willingness to challenge the establishment have struck a chord. He's positioned himself as a voice of common sense in a world of political doublespeak, garnering a loyal following among voters disillusioned with mainstream parties. As Farage prepares to face off against the BBC, we're set for a clash of ideologies that could redefine British politics.
I mean, I've been back as leader for, this is day 11, and if you look at the Times newspaper today...
In the terms of the number of MPs you might win?
No, you're right. I mean, we have a completely outdated electoral system. It's not fit for purpose, but it is what it is.
Will Farage's unconventional tactics prevail against the polished professionalism of the BBC? Or will the establishment finally find a way to silence this political maverick? One thing's for certain. This interview is bound to be anything but ordinary. When Nigel Farage stepped into the BBC studio, the atmosphere crackled with tension. The BBC, known for its hard-hitting interviews and relentless questioning of political figures, was about to face off against one of Britain's most controversial politicians. What unfolded next left viewers and pundits alike in a state of shock. Naga Munchetty, the BBC host, came out swinging. She attempted to corner Farage on his immigration figures and Brexit promises, clearly hoping to catch him off guard. But Farage, ever the political pugilist, stood his ground. He calmly stated that 1 in 30 people on the streets of Britain today has come in the last 2 years, a statistic that sent shockwaves through the studio. Munchetty, visibly taken aback, pressed him on the source of his information. But Farage was prepared. He didn't just parry Munchetty's attacks, he launched a counter-offensive. When questioned about the economic contributions of migrants, Farage dropped another bombshell. 52% that have come are dependents. This figure challenged the narrative that immigration was purely about filling job vacancies, and Munchetty struggled to regain her footing. As the interview progressed, a fascinating dynamic emerged. The more Munchetty pushed, the calmer Farage became. His composure under fire was remarkable, a stark contrast to the increasingly flustered host. Farage's ability to maintain his cool while delivering hard-hitting facts left many viewers impressed. The turning point came when Farage declared, "We're living through a population explosion, we can't cope." This statement, delivered with conviction, seemed to resonate with viewers concerned about the strain on public services. Munchetty's attempts to challenge Farage's credibility only seemed to strengthen his position. Farage's mastery of the interview became apparent when he asserted, "It's making us poorer and our living standards." This direct approach, coupled with his command of statistics, left Munchetty visibly unsettled. As the interview drew to a close, it was clear that Farage had not just answered questions. He had taken control of the conversation. The aftermath of the interview sent ripples through British politics. Farage's performance was hailed as a masterclass in handling media pressure. His ability to turn a potentially hostile interview into a platform for his views left many wondering if this could be a turning point in the ongoing debates about immigration and Brexit. As the dust settles, one thing is clear. Nigel Farage's BBC Showdown may have just reshaped the political landscape in ways no one expected. Farage's BBC performance wasn't just a personal triumph. It marked a seismic shift in the political landscape. His ability to articulate complex issues clearly and handle pressure with composure has positioned him as a potential leader for a frustrated electorate. This unexpected outcome challenges our understanding of modern politics and media influence. The rise of figures like Farage, with their straightforward approach to sensitive topics like immigration, is resonating with voters who feel let down by the current political class. It's a wake-up call for traditional parties and media outlets alike. As the lines between outsider and establishment blur, we're left questioning who really holds the power in shaping public opinion. Farage's growing popularity suggests a potential disruption to traditional party structures in the UK. His success in turning a potentially hostile interview into a platform for his views has left many wondering if this could be a turning point in the ongoing debates about immigration and Brexit. As the dust settles, one thing is clear: the political rulebook is being rewritten before our eyes.